Man's got to know his limitations.
G'day and welcome to another Mongrel Dog production. And welcome to this, the abandoned gold mining town of Big Bell. Contrary to popular belief, there's some places in Australia that I haven't visited, and this is one of them. So myself and a couple of mates have decided to come here and have a look. Grab your gear, let's go. Well, I'm on my way to meet up, hopefully, with a few other blokes. I say hopefully because we're about to go on a 5-day ride. Hauled up about 2,000 kilometres door to door, I guess. And I opened it up to members of the BMW Club of WA, only because quite often I hear blokes talking about improving their skill set and, you know, getting more time in their saddle. So I effectively opened it up to the world. And initially I got a lot of responses. The group size was going to be as many as 9 or 10. Since then, however, oh, and by the way, lane splitting is legal here in WA now, finally. Anyway, the group size was about 9 or 10. Since then, pretty much all of them have dropped off because of different reasons. Some are claiming work gets in the way. Others are quite frankly saying, look, it's just going to be too damn hot out there. We're expecting temperatures in the low 40s. Which is unseasonal for this time of year, and of course those sort of temperatures make for unpleasant riding. So I get that. I'd much rather blokes put up their hand and say, look, it's just going to be effectively dangerous. As far as they're concerned, hydration will be the issue. The last thing you want is blokes coming down with heat stroke out there. So we'll see how many show up. Either way, I'm going. Blokes that know me know that I'm happy to go it alone if it comes down to that. So we'll see what happens. I can see one bloke sitting in the shade. That's a good start. That reassures me. Fill up the tank. I can get 30 litres in this tank, thankfully. Makes remote travel a little bit easier. Right, we're away. There's only two of us, Chris and myself. I am meeting a couple of blokes at Plains Fine tomorrow. The temperature there tomorrow's supposed to be 41 degrees. But Chris rang me a couple of days ago and said, look, the conditions are just going to be too uncomfortable for him. And I get that. He doesn't have to explain to me. He and I have been through some pretty hard yards together. We both know each other's capabilities. So, yeah, he'll escort me out down for a couple of hours and then turn around and head back to Perth. And that's okay. Take care, right? I'll be right. See you later. And thanks for coming. So much. Alright, Chris has left. He's going to return to Perth. He's got about a 3-hour ride in front of him. And I've got about the same, although most of mine will involve dirt. I'll be going along Maroubra Road. Gets me off the blacktop. Very little, if any, traffic. And I'll bush camp just south of Payne's Find this evening, I think. I think I've got a puncture. Bike started behaving radically. Yeah, rear. Well, there's the hole, and looking at the proximity to the valve, my guess is it was probably the rim lock that caused the damage. Rim locks are used for when you're running low tyre pressures, just stops the rim or the tyre from slipping around the rim. But anyway, I'll stick a new tube in it and patch this one tonight, I guess. I'm just sticking enough air into it to give it some shape so it doesn't get creased. Alright, I've repaired it and put the wheel back together. I'm absolutely shattered now. I don't know how hot it is, but you wouldn't want 2 or 3 of those in one day. If I get another one between here and destination, I'll pull up for the night. I'm not going to risk repairing it again, not in these temperatures. So I'll hydrate, I'll suit up and I'll get underway. I'm only 25 kilometres in on this stretch. I've still got 178 kilometres of dirt to go before I reach Payne's Find. So yeah, that was and I've been here probably an hour and a half and I haven't seen one vehicle. Thankfully I've got all the gear and some idea. Yeah, tough going. Right, I got the Payne's Find. I was keen to get here to get a signal, a Telstra signal. Because of that puncture earlier, I'm reluctant to do the whole trip without a new tube. I'll patch this one, but I would feel more comfortable if I could get a new one. So I've actually rung Chris back in Perth, and he's going to try and organise one to be shipped overnight, not tonight, Tuesday night, and either be at Kew or alternatively Southern Cross in a day or two, which I think is very, very doable. There'll be a dozen trucks going. They're both major arterial roads. So there'll be lots of vehicles going down there, overnighters. And while I was here at Payne's Find, I noticed a message from Tom, Broken Leg Tom, and he's actually nearby, so he's waiting on the side of a track, and we'll hook up this afternoon and bush camp. This is actually the road that takes you to Sandstone. And there's the cattle grid that he mentioned. He's on the Sandstone side. Most times the cattle grids have a maintenance track that runs alongside them for checking the fences and the like. There's his wheel track there. Oh yep, I can see him 200 metres up the road. Australia's a big country, and yet two blokes can find themselves in the middle of the outback. Go figure. I hope he's picked a nice spot. Yeah, I can see his bike. This will do me right here. Alright, morning of day 2. Tom and I are meeting another bloke at Payne's Find this morning at 9 AM. Robert Astro. He'll be joining us. He's on a BMW 1200 GS. This ride is big bike friendly. He shouldn't have any problems. I know most of the roads and tracks. Been on them before, on my big bike in fact, so yeah, he should be okay. But anyway, yeah, he couldn't join us yesterday, so he's linking up with us this morning. We'll go back to Payne's Find. It's only a few kilometres down the road, and have a bit of a chat about stuff, what we expect, what we need to do, and then we'll leave and head for Yalgoo. A couple of things to see and do along the way. There's not much at Yalgoo. We'll be able to get fuel there, but that's about the extent of it really. There's some interesting roads and tracks to get there, mostly dirt. It was damned hot last night. It's going to be damned hot again today, low 40s. Unfortunately, I'm sort of locked into these dates. I can't change them. I've got too much stuff going on from next week, so it would have been nice to put it back a week, cooler temperatures. So yeah, uncomfortable riding conditions, and I guess once again that's why some of the blokes decided to pull out, and yeah, you can't blame them. Well, I can see a bloke all dressed up. Oh yeah, there's his bike, and there's Rob. He's early. Hey Rob, how you going, mate? Alright, we've resupplied with a bit of water. There is the chance of resupply at Yalgoo, but it's not definite. So it's important that it's important every time we stop to try and replenish the water with these current temperatures. We've had a bit of a chat on the requirements as far as keeping everybody in sight, procedures at every turn, stuff like that, because the three of us haven't ridden together as a group. I'm sure we'll be fine. I just pulled over to an old pioneer cemetery. We'll just have a look in here. There's a couple of graves of interest. There's 4 bodies in that one coffin. These 4 blokes were working underground and there was an explosion, and they only found enough bits to put in one coffin. That'd be cosy. Right, next stop, Joker's Tunnel. Tom hasn't been there before, so we'll go and check that out. That's got an interesting backstory as well. Well, we're here at Jacob's Tunnel. We'll spend a few minutes just crawling around the place and having a look. Sorry? Well, this is called Jacob's Tunnel. This poor schmuck discovered 3 kilos of gold in the first 50 kilos of rock. And of course that sucked him in, so he tunnelled all the way through the base of this mountain, or this hill, and never discovered another ounce afterwards. Nearly had my head taken off by a bat then. Oh, look at them all. Jeez, wow.
There's a nest of them up there. Oh, some babies and stuff. Look at that boy.
Does this take you back to Nam, Tom?
Back ahead.
You got to take one for the team, buddy. Watch your head. I reckon if I found 3 kilos of gold in the first 50 kilos of rock, I'd keep digging too. Right, that's Jacob's Tunnel done and dusted. From here we'll go to Yalgoo. We'll just go around the town to see what the town has to offer, which from memory is not very much. I don't think there's a general store. The pub won't be open until much later today. There is a caravan park there. I'm not sure if they've got any supplies at all, but we'll check it out. Certainly refuel, that's 24/7 with a debit card. It don't look busy. This place does a bit of business during wildflower season, but for the rest of the time I think it's pretty well quiet. This used to be the general store. That's closed. Oh, hang on a minute. Maybe it's not. And there's the pub. The old general store has closed. They've obviously changed location, so yeah, that other one looked quite modern inside. So we'll refuel, then go back, sit in the shade, have some lunch and decide what we're going to do after that. $96.8. That's reasonable for where we are. Alright, we've had a decent break. No sense rushing. We've got about 200 kilometres to do this afternoon. That's easily doable. The next stop will actually be Australia's smallest meteorite site. It's about 110 kilometres away, so we'll make our way there and have a look. Dalgaranga crater, that's what it is. Oh, have I lost a couple? No, there he is. Dalgaranga meteorite crater, 4 kilometres.
Take it to the bottom, you ready? 1, 2.
Yeah, no, that's deep.
200 metres at least.
It's deep.
Maybe 400 metres across.
Thankfully somebody's marked it with a flagpole or something, because otherwise...
Mate, if we're going to be here about half an hour, I'll climb into that crater.
Wolf Creek crater, it's not. Welcome to the, what is it, the Dalgaranga meteorite crater, smallest one in Australia. 5 metres deep, 25 metres diameter.
Twice the size, it would make an Olympic swimming
It would,
pool.
yeah, if it was twice as big, it would be an Olympic-sized swimming pool. So yes, it doesn't have a lot of positive reviews. The smallest, yeah. And we're only here because it was on our route. Yeah, you wouldn't want to, make it a day trip, because yeah, you'd be disappointed. Right, now that we've seen Australia's small, right, let's go down the road a bit and have a look at Wagga Rock. It's supposed to be pretty impressive. Lots of Aboriginal art, that sort of thing. And we may camp in or around there this evening, I think. Be an opportunity to have a good look around. I thought I smelled petrichor. Petrichor is the smell that you can smell after rain, which I thought was a bit odd out here, but I've just got a couple of drops, and the weather forecast did say there was a 20% chance of thunderstorms, which I didn't think was going to come to fruition, but yeah, got a few spits of rain. Here's the turn off to Wagga Rock. Austin Downs Station. Oh, it's private property. I didn't realise that. The Uluru of the West. There's supposed to be 950 different works of art in and around this area, and one drawing of a ship. There's a couple of theories about that. 3 theories in fact.
The reason they say they're important, nobody identified.
Oh, there it is. The ship, or the boat. It does exist. It is so hot. Oh, stifling. Tom's ridden around the base of the rock. We're going to do the same. We're going to go around the base. And even though there's probably places to camp, we're going to keep moving. It's too early to pull up now. We'll end up roasting. So we'll go around the rock. And then we'll continue on towards Big Bell. We may go there, have a quick look, find a place to camp, or we may pull just short of it. Stifling. It's rain ahead of us. Yeah. Big Bell town site, 8 kilometres. Nothing there anymore. The pub, or the walls at least. They discovered gold there in the 1930s, which is pretty late, I guess. As a result of that, they built the town, and the pub is of Art Deco architecture. Would have been the old road network. What we're on at the moment, there's the pub over there. There is actually an operating mine. Well, I think it's operating. I'm not sure whether that was the original place they discovered the gold, but looking at Google Maps, there's looks like a mining camp over in that direction. Yeah, there's slabs there from obviously housing. Some more infrastructure there, old slabs, concrete slabs. I don't know what that used to be. Not much left anymore. I guess they reused the timbers and the iron from the roof. Yeah, there's a mining vehicle over there, so there must be an operating mine around. Taking the unusual step of suggesting that we actually go to Bjork tonight, a small town only about 30 kilometres away, and stay in the caravan park, camp there. And the reason I say that is the conditions have been pretty horrible the last couple of days. Though Rob only joined us today, but he's been on the road since 6 a.m. to make up for some time. But yeah, the last 2 days the conditions have been pretty horrible. In fact, Tom said it was 44 degrees at Wagga Rock. Yes, I think we probably deserve lying on a patch of ground surrounded by showers and amenities. Rob and I haven't been here to Big Bell, so yeah, we've agreed just to come back tomorrow. Like I say, Q's only 30 kilometres away, it'll take us 20 minutes on a good road, so we'll come out here and have a scratch around tomorrow. In November 1935, Premier Gold Mining Company announced that it would develop a mining operation at Big Bell.